Good morning, Labor Day weekend 2025. I'm going to be backpacking into the Lincoln Woods area today, and we are going to be hopefully summiting Owl's Head today. So it's a beautiful day. We have a little bit of light showers in the forecast. As you can see, the skies start trying to poke out. It's about 6:30, and you can see the Lincoln Woods trailhead is already starting to fill up pretty good. Holiday weekend and all. I'll show you the track we're gonna do. Now, obviously, we are right here at the parking lot. Be taking the Lincoln Woods Trail up past Franconia Falls to the Lincoln Brook Trail. We're gonna make our way in this way. We have several water crossings, and in this area here is where we'll most likely be camping. And depending on the conditions, we'll be taking the Owl's Head path up the slide to the mountain, or if everything is wet and slick, we'll take the Brutus. No, we're not going to get many views today, but the plan is to come back during the through the Black Pond Bushwhack, get some views hopefully of Owl's Head and Bond Cliff, and then return tomorrow after a night of camping. So come on, let's go. Here is the Pemigewasset. Here you go. Wilderness Boundary 2.9. Active bear area. Store your food properly. And now we're on the Lincoln Woods Trail. Should be like this for quite some time. Nice, easy, beautiful, wide trail, but long. All right, looks like we got a little safety fencing here. Must have been a washout here. We're almost 3/4 mile in Lincoln Woods. Caution, keep away from edge. Riverbank may be unstable, erosion. But I'm gonna get nice view of the river, or what's left of the river. And you can see the Pemigewasset is pretty dry. Wow. That should bode well for our river crossings. As you can see, all the railroad ties are really starting to show again. The railroad used to come down here back in the logging days of Lincoln Woods area and this wilderness area. A lot of people like to complain about the railroad ties. It screws up their pace, their stride, and you can see why. But there's plenty of room to the left, to the right, if you wanted to avoid them completely. Here we go. As you can see, we get sign marker. I believe this is Yosio Trail. It's going to take you up to Flume and the ladders to Flume. Coming in the back way. And it is. Yosio Trail's that way. And then over here, a little more information about the railroad. Pretty cool. All right, let's continue. All right, coming upon the Black Pond Trail. So there's a bushwhack down here. I don't think we're going to take this time. We're going to take it hopefully on the way back. 0.6 to Franconia Falls. We're making pretty good time. We're going about 20 minutes a mile with fully loaded pack. So we're going to continue. All right, how many paces is 200 feet? So they put these signs up because for people like us who are camping backcountry style, we need to be 200 feet off the trail to set up camp. So let's figure out how many paces we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 75 paces for me at 5'8". All right, so a little bit more up the trail. We're coming to the wilderness boundary here. And this is also where the Franconia Falls Trail breaks off. So a little under half a mile to get to that famous swimming hole. One of the best water slides, natural water slides in the country, if not the world. And we got an overlook here showing our bridge. So this is the, I believe, on the other side of this, we enter the Pemigewasset Wilderness. And we continue on. All right, let's go. Thankful for our bridge. And here's the wilderness boundary. No bicycles. We are now in the wilderness. So, fun fact. Some people like to use bicycles. You can get to the beginning of the trailhead with bicycles, but you can't ride your bike to that point and still count Owl's Head. You have to get there on your own power. All right. So this is where we turn off. Franconia Brook, Bond Cliff. All right. I'll be coming back that way soon when I finish up my 48. But for now, we're taking a left. All right. Now we're on Franconia Brook. You can see getting our first little taste of slight incline here. Just pretty flat up to this point. Railroad grade. But now we're in the woods. Look at all those mushrooms. Very cool. Go, first water crossing, pretty shallow. If you want to even call that a crossing, but continue. Franconia Brook Trail. Starting to see signs of fall already. Look at this. Nice and low. Some of the times a year I see these things and they're raging. So we might not be at those crossings yet, but I'm thankful the water level's a little low, as long as that doesn't provide any issues with getting water. So I'm going to continue. These rocks are a little slippery. Continuing Franconia Brook. Been a nice trail. Water levels are really low, so starting to smell that, but especially with a little warm from hiking, but especially with the temperatures we have here and what we're seeing, definitely feels like we're getting a little taste of fall, which is nice. Trail continues over here. And we've had a couple little easy water crossings, but most of the trail, even on Franconia Brook, has been just like this. It's nice, clean, not very rocky yet. It's been nice, so pretty level. Making our way in, we're probably getting close to the 4.5 mile mark, and it's about 8 o'clock. So still making great time. We'll honestly probably be setting up camp by 10ish, sometime between 10 and 11, I would think. So it'd be nice to a little bit of weight off our back and figure out if we want to head up Owl's Head or just hang out for a little bit at camp. All right, approaching the signpost. I have a feeling we'll be turning left here. I believe this straight ahead goes up to like 13 Falls. Yep, Lincoln Brook Trail begins here. I believe that makes the other side of the loop around Owl's Head. And we're going to be taking a left. Continuing on, new trail, Lincoln Brook. It's this cool little grassy, boggy area. Look at this. We're on the Lincoln Brook Trail now. Hopefully coming up to where the Black Pond Bushwhack would come in normally. But every one of these trails is just slightly different. This one's covered in pine needles, soft, a little more rooty, and it rolls a little bit more. But these trails have been delightful. Nice, easy backpacking. You know, if you ever can get into the Lincoln Woods parking lot, it does fill up, and you're looking for a place to camp, as long as you don't mind doing some walking, you can have a nice adventure out here with minimal effort. Getting ready for probably the largest water crossing we have had yet. So I was just trying to scope out where a good place to traverse it would be. Not immune to thinking we might get a little wet boot or something here, but we'll this looks like a good spot. If it's not, I'll turn around. Try a different way. I know one of these, I think this might be the one. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, I got my boot wet. I got my sock wet. I think this is it. But again, thankful for lower water. So we can just kind of skip and glide across these rocks without wearing having to ford. Looks like I'm in a little bit of a sketchy area, but a little rushing water past my boot, but this rock's starting to want to move on me, so we're going to have to take a nice long step here and up and up. And we are just about across. Beautiful. Nice river. Water. It's a cool spot. And it looks like the sky's starting to clear up. Definitely like that. All right. Across the river, up here shortly will be where the Black Pond Bushwhack connects to the trail. This right here is the Black Pond Bushwhack, where it connects to the trail. So it's a good option if you want to cut a mile one way or 2 miles off the trail. And we're continuing to the right. Nice step off, take a look at the river, flowing beautifully. Nice cascades up ahead. Beautiful hike so far. We're looking for a place to stop for camp, and we're about 6¼ miles in now, so we should be coming up upon some good places to set up pretty soon. It was beautiful. Weather's beautiful. Sun's actually coming out and the clouds are lifting, so what a day. Beautiful scenery as we're hiking along the brook. Great swimming spots. Probably really good fishing spots. Honestly, I know these are the top of Owl's Head, but this has been a beautiful scenic hike and I've really enjoyed it. Maybe that's just because I'm in love with these woods up here. The woods and the mountains and the rivers. Alright, about 7.5 miles in. Just dropped off stuff to camp. And gonna be making our way over to hit the Owl's Head slide. It stays dry for me. I know we had a chance of showers, but the sky's pretty clear. And want to experience it, both the slide and Brutus Bushwhack. So more beautiful trail, man. Oh yeah, this is so nice. Out in the middle of nowhere, man. Beautiful. I've totally lost count of how many of these we've done, but we've done a lot. I thought there was a lot on isolation, but isolation has nothing on Owl's Head. That's for sure. But no complaints. These water crossings have been straightforward and easy. Very low. Like I said, I've seen people wade waist deep through these things at high water, and I'll take it. I'll take the water levels where they're at now. And right here, my friends, I believe, is where Brutus rejoins the trail. You can see they made some nice log piles to mark it with that beautiful arrow for Brutus. So, as tempting as Brutus would be today, I think we're going to scope out and see what the slide looks like. If I find the slide is a little too damp, then we'll come back and go Brutus up. But I don't believe we're terribly far from the slide here now, so let's go find it. Alright, in between the Bushwack entrance and Owl's Head slide, it's some beautiful more brook side walking to do. Before we do our mile of pain up the slide. It's going to be such a contrast to the rest of the trail. Going off trail a minute just to see a little closer look of the brook here. Wow, look how nice this is. Real cool little spot here. Lincoln Brook, ladies and gentlemen. So nice. Look at how nice that water looks. Alright. I see the cairn. Owl's Head path. The slide begins. Alright. Gonna have a snack and then we're gonna begin the climb. Alright, beginning of Owl's Head path and the slide. So
stash the poles for a little bit on the slide, going up at least, so I can use my hands if I need be. Hasn't been too aggressive now, just definitely uphill, a little loose, but it's dry. Keep checking behind me too to make sure there's no one coming up behind me. I don't want to accidentally kick any loose rocks on them. All right, here's the first look of Franconia Ridge, and that's the Lincoln Slide. Clouds are being kind enough to stay high, so I can get a glimpse of that as I make my way up the slide. As you can see, it's been steep, but it hasn't been terrible. I think it's gonna be more of the same the way up, but at least I'll take a couple moments to catch our breath, turn around, and enjoy some views. Already getting much better views of Lincoln and the Lincoln Slide. Look at those clouds. Beautiful day. There's Franconia Ridge, Lafayette in the clouds. Getting a little breeze up here. Temperature's dropping a little. It's a cold front that's moved in, so that's why we're unseasonably cool today. But it is okay. I'd much rather have this than 87 degrees coming up this like they had last Labor Day weekend. You can see the whole ridge here. Clouds are at Lafayette, so 5,000 something there. I'm going to remain well under 1,000 feet, less than Lafayette. You're at Owl's Head, I believe it's 4,025. But wow, this view is definitely distracting. Don't get to see the backside of this too often. Not this close. Drops are starting to fall. You can see the rain moving in. I think I'm almost off the slide. And here it starts. Nice little incline up ahead of us. About 12:30. Heading up the slide. I want to say we're probably close to halfway up it. Snap a little picture of that incline. But yeah, about halfway up the slide to Owl's Head. Thought we were going to get some heavy rain. We got a quick little burst and then it just seemed to stop. So hopefully that's it. Almost looks like Franconia Ridge kind of redirected the weather around it. So I'm going to continue up. All right, so I've reached the junction where Owl's Head path diverges. The slide, for the most part, ends at this rock, and you can see this cairn. You can see some hikers down there. I just had a talk with. They are descending through the Brutus Bushwhack, which that is the way I will. Descend, just in case the skies do decide to open up for real this time. I don't think I want to be caught on the slide with it raining like that, especially if we get more than a short burst of rain like we did earlier. So make our way up the rest of Owl's Head path, tag the summit, turn around. All right, look like we're getting to the top of the ridge here for Owl's Head. Getting a little bit of sun here. I'm hoping some clouds can push off. I'd really like to see if I can find that overlook over to Boncliffe here. Approaching Owl's Head summit. Little party here. Hello.
You're like,
Okay. So close, right?
right there. Literally at 30 seconds.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Enjoy your hike out. All right. Getting there. Owl's Head is one of the most dreaded of the 48 just because of the distance to get into it. But so far I've enjoyed this hike. It has been good. We'll see how I feel about it on the way out. I'm going to still make the call when we get back to our temporary camp whether we are staying the night or we are going to lump everything out. So it'll depend on what time we get back and what kind of gas we still have in our tanks. So we'll see. I know we'll probably definitely make a nice meal before we head out though. Woohoo! I think we have found the majestic Owl's Head summit. This summit will be number 46 of 48 for me. Owl's Head, 4,025 feet up. A long way in. But we have reached here finally. Completely wooded. But we're here. Owl's Head. I've been waiting for a long time to do this one. Sitting down for half a second here at Owl's Head Summit. This was number 46. I only have two left. Woohoo! Alright, trying to see if we can get any views here, Bon and Boncliffe, out this little spur path. We got a little clouds are in the way here and some trees, but you can see a little taste of it. All right, we've just made it down far enough on Owl's Head Path to be at the Bushwack. So we're going to make our way down the Brutus Bushwhack. I have not done this trail yet, so I'm not sure what it's going to be like, but I'm going to take one pole and one for holding on. So I'm assuming it has to be at least as steep as the slide. So I'm going to get our pole out here so we can have some stability on that side. And here we go. There's the mark, Brutus Bushwhack. This supposedly is a quarter of a mile shorter than taking the slide, and preferable when it's wet. And as you can see, it is wet. We've been still getting these off and on rain showers, very, very light. But I've noticed today some people come up the Brutus Bushwhack and down it. Some go up the slide and down the slide. I've always been a guy who's liked samplers, so I up the slide and down the Brutus Bushwhack. We'll see how this compares. Okay, early on to the Brutus Bushwhack, the path is clearly defined. A lot of blowdowns, as after all an unmaintained trail, so nothing that I couldn't step over as of yet. But as far as the Bushwhack goes, it is clearly defined, and no question yet which way the trail goes. So a lot of roots, not many rocks. So just being careful, because I know these roots can be pretty deadly as well when you are stepping on them and they're wet. But so far, good grades, as you can see. It's pretty steep, but we have to lose that elevation somehow. Continue down the Brutus Bushwhack, and as you can see, for an unmained bushwhack trail, this is pretty well maintained. Log given a border of the trail for a little bit. It's actually a pleasant section of it right here. I would say so far the roots have been the toughest part. Slow down because you slide on those like ice, but thumbs up so far for Brutus Bushwhack. Hopefully it'll continue. Back on Lincoln Brook Trail, making our way back. About 3 o'clock, I want to say, maybe a little bit after. So, we get back to where we made camp and then make a decision if we want to hike out today, if we want to stay the night. Continuing, making our way out, we've decided to pack up and hike out. It was early enough. Might need the headlamps a little bit on the way out, but a little drizzly and rainy, and we still had some gas in the tank. So we figured we'd make our way out and get some good food before we drive home. Again, beautiful trail, beautiful hike. Definitely very enjoyable. I don't think it gets the credit for how nice it is and how good it is, but I'm glad to have done it. Continuing down the Franconia Brook Trail in the Green Tunnel. The race is on. Will we make it out of here before dark? All right, came down Franconia Brook, and now we are going to head down the Lincoln Woods Trail. Should be leaving the wilderness soon. All right, just left the wilderness area. Gonna make our way across the river. We are exactly 3 miles from the car, so I figure maybe an hour. I'll look over beautiful clouded in mountains, and you can see we're losing daylight. But all right, sight for sore eyes, suspension bridge coming out of the Lincoln Woods Trail. Had a long, beautiful day in the wilderness. Now we need something to eat. Making it out just before we needed a headlamp. All right, we did it. We made it back to the Lincoln Woods Trailhead. I think I logged about 20 miles today. Logged in, set up a camp, and then went and tagged Owl's Head up the slide down Brutus Bushwhack. But we decided we finished so early we would take off. So we hiked out. It is about 8 o'clock, just before 8, and we made it out without headlamps. It was a great hike. I don't know why Owl's Head gets so much hate, but it was a great time. All right, thank you for watching.